I just came down for the morning here to do kind of the morning chores that I have, which is to feed the pigs and then also to move the grass-fed beef out in the pasture, kind of give them the new slice, new paddock, new grass. And I just want to give you a little inside look at what it all entails, especially for the pig part here. So this will be the first time I'm going to do it, but I'm going to kind of make and ration my own pig feed here. So I'm going to kind of mix it with some of the already pre-made organic mix that I bought from a feed mill, but I want to utilize some of the feed that I've grown here on the farm. So I don't think I've showed you guys yet, but I just salvaged this bin here behind me that has been laying up in the woods for like 15 years. My late father had purchased that from a friend, and I had some guys come out and pour this concrete pad, and we took that thing down with the skid steer and hoisted it up. Me and one of our friends and employees, Steve Powell, got that up, and I put in a mix that so in the spring I seeded down what was essentially like a cover crop mix. So it's just a mix that you put down in between like cash crops, but I did it more so for a pasture for the beef that I have out there to graze, and it was a mixture of oats, barley, peas, a clover, and a radish. And I couldn't get them to finish and to eat down that field in time enough before it came out and seeded into a grain. And again, I'm doing 100% grass fed, so they can't eat that. So what I had to do is I had to pull them off of that pasture to uphold the integrity of me, making sure that they're only fed grass, forage, vegetative products, food like that. And so what I had to do is I was like, what the heck am I going to do with this here? Because I needed to seed it down into another pasture mix. And so I had an option to either let it go throughout the winter, or I was going to combine it. So combining 4 to 5 different seed heads going through the combine, really had no idea how that was going to turn out, but it turned out pretty well. So then I was put with an issue to figure out what the hell am I going to do with all that seed and feed. I had nowhere to put it, so sitting in our grain truck for probably 3 weeks trying to dry it down too. And I'm like, okay, I've got this grain bin, last resort there, put it in there. So we got it up, and I have it in there, and I talked to some guys, and they said that is a really good mix to mix in with a ration for your pigs. So I'm going to put it in this bucket. I'm going to show you kind of what my idea is, what I have to do with this. I'm going to mix this with the non-GMO corn from our fields that we just filled in with that silo right there, which I have showed you. So I'm going to take that and kind of make up my own ration and feed them this. Again, this was grown here, all this seed and everything was grown with no synthetic fertilizers, absolutely no herbicides or pesticides or fungicides were sprayed on that field to get this to grow. So it's about as clean as you can get. And this here is non-GMO corn that I'm going to be mixing in for the pig feed. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. First, there's my sidekick. Gunther, say hi to the people. Say hello. You like that corn stalk? Okay. Anyway, so this is where I put up the grain bin. It is completely full with that oats, barley, peas, radish, and clover seed. And I had them, so the bottom part had an auger to it, which was completely junk. So I took it to a local Badger Stainless here in Pigeon Falls. We took that off, and I had them make me what is called a slide gate. So simply all I'm going to do is pull this right back, and the seed, the amount of feed that I want, is going to drop into this bucket. So this is the first time doing this, opening this, so hopefully I can get it open and it goes smoothly. So let's see what happens. I might have to drop this in case I need to shut this really quick, so let's see. Well, that was slick. Oh, well, the one problem is I took out way too much. I was hoping to get like 1/4 of a bucket. Oh man. Oh well, whatever. So here you can see the mix. Focus in on it. See how there's different seeds. The round ones are peas. Then we got oats and barley. The small seeds right here. can see it, are those radishes and clovers. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to grind it in our hammer mill, which I'll show you in a second. And again, mix it with the corn to come up with my own ration. And this is where the labor work comes in. Yes, I'm just going to hand walk it. Life is hard, isn't it, nowadays? So yeah, I'm going to hand walk it over there, and it's going to, I'll show you where I'm going to put it in to grind it up. Alright, you can tell I really did it because I'm breathing a little bit heavy. But took it out of that big bucket, put in the little ones because I need to put it in here, which is what we call our mill, but it's an auger that goes up to the hammer mill, which I'll show you in a little bit how that goes from that full kind of seed here, and it's going to be ground into finer powder, which makes it better digestible for the livestock. And just going to drop it into that bucket, which I'll feed them. And then here is the silo, which I've showed you before, where all the corn, the non-GMO corn, is stored. And we have an auger that pulls it out. It's going to drop it into here, up into the hammer mill, into the ration I'm going to make. So let's see this in action. So I'm going to do is open this up and show you what this actually is. So here, there's no screen in there. I'm going to show you. It's one of the biggest pains in the world to get this screen in, but my mom mixes for the steers where she does not need to grind this. So whenever I do this with the pegs, it's a pain to get this screen in. This will show you. Where did I put it? Right here. So I have to get this in here. Usually takes like 10 freaking minutes because it just sits on that ledge. And I have to get it to balance perfectly and slam this door shut. So you'll see the corn is going to drop in, or the feed, whatever we put in here through that auger, it's going to drop in. And these essential blades are like a hammer, spins around and pounds it through this screen. And so when it gets pounded through that screen, you'll see it's going to come out into like a fine powder. You can choose, you see these holes in there, you can choose the diameter, the size. If you want more finely ground, a little bit more coarse, there's different screens that you can put in here. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to get this closed and I'll show you what it looks like when it's working. Give you a look. This is what it looked like before I put it through. Just got done running that through. Here you can see again, finely ground. So I'm mixing this because I tried to feed them this straight before, but they'll eat it. They just don't eat it like the corn. The corn gives it like a sweeter type taste to it, and also I want just more. They need more energy than just what's in this product right here. So it's going to give them more nutrients and a better balanced diet. I'll probably be adding in like a vitamin type pack, micronutrients that they need to maintain their health and size that we're looking for. So I'm just going to hand mix this. Probably put some more corn on top and give it a more mix so they eat it better, like it better. Access, like grass pasture access, and also do give them some shelter here. I'm utilizing where have some bedding down and the feeder, so they'll eat and drink indoors. Honestly, this is like their playpen. I watch them sometimes. They are quite characters. Here they're all coming out right now. I'll give you a look. Here they come from out there. Now pigs rut and roam around. This is the first time dealing with pigs, and it's insane. They've done all this. This was all fresh green, and they have just wallowed and dug stuff up. And hopefully that one will get zapped. So You have to have a low fence, and I put a single wire, hot wire, electrical wire on the bottom. So otherwise, honestly, they would dig themselves out and they would be loose boar pigs. So they're just coming out, playing around. They literally just run around and play with each other out here and dig and dig and dig. There you can see them digging. So here's the 5. Now they will come in because they're used to me. When I go in, they're going to get fed. So I'll show you where we feed them. Hey, buddies. So I'll show you them actually eating. So when they've dug this up, I've tossed in some of that seed that I actually ground up here for them to feed. It's the oats, barley, and peas, and you can see the little stems have regrowth and come up. But they are going to dig them back up, and they're eating that down. So for some greenness that they get, they're doing what they do the best, digging. The thing is too, they compete with food. It's insane. There's some ones that are dominant. They kick out the other ones. I feel bad for them. Actually, the runt of the litter is the male. One male right there. He gets kind of beat up by the females when it comes to chow time. See? They're mean. Take a look where I feed them. Give them access indoors from the elements, storms, stuff like that. So right here is this handmade. I just found this stuff that I feed them with, so I haven't got a real pig feeder yet. Just literally dump it through there and they go to town. There's the water right over there. It's full access water. I leave that wet because pigs like water and mud. They don't feel like it's their home unless they have a spot like that. So I'll leave that kind of wet area that they like to mud around in a little bit. So they're going to start coming back in when they hear me clang this around. Hey, here they come. So here I have the feed I've been feeding, the organic feed that's already pre-mixed. Has all the corn, organic soybeans, and micronutrients. Here they come. Come on, buddies. Breakfast time. Breakfast time. I had to make that little step up for them because that little fatty has a problem getting up. Come on. Come on, buddy. I'm going to have to redo that. The fatter they get, the harder it is for them to get up there. So let's give them breakfast. So I'm just going to shovel from there into there, and then I'm going to mix a little bit of the organic feed on top too. So I'm going to kind of ration out that organic feed with my feed. So I'll show you what they look like when they're eating. See? There's that mean bee. I feel bad for that guy. See him? He just wants to get in there. They're something else, man. They're cute when they're little, but man, it could be nasty thing. See, if they just come over to this side, there they kind of found their spot. So they are pigs, man. They just eat and sleep. They'll play once in a while. There, he got his spot. So now I'm going to try to be quiet so he can eat. That is how I feed the pigs. Happy. I'm going to go outside for recess. Right, guys?